Hi everybody, I'm Davey, and this is going to be my review for Iron Man 3, which I saw this past weekend, on the opening weekend in North America. So, yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about it, put out my opinion on the film, and what did I think of it. Let me start off by saying that I thought Iron Man 3 was awesome. It was probably one of the best superhero movies right now. I love superhero films, and yeah, definitely Iron Man 3 is definitely up there as one of the best. First of all, what did I think of the past three movies? I have to say I like this one more than the first two. I know a lot of people are saying like the first one is the best, the third one is now second best, and the second one is like the least favorite. And I have to say, I don't know why a lot of people don't like Iron Man 2 that much. I know a lot of people don't hate it, they just think it's like a pretty weak film. And I don't know why. I actually like Iron Man 2 a little bit more than Iron Man 1. So I think I'm in the minority of that. And Iron Man 3, though, for me, I feel it's better than the first one. And the second one. And the first two were great. I just thought, I don't know, there's something about the third one I really like. Maybe it's the setting that it takes place in. You know, they had it take place during Christmas, and I felt that it made the movie feel different. And I like Shane Black's, like, he put a nice feel to it. I mean, the comedy is all great. I think the comedy in this movie is, like, funnier than the last two. The jokes just, like, are great. And the cast is all great, you know, all the actors do their job, you know, just like they did in the last ones, and even the new guys are all great. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, and it is going to be tough to see if Marvel ever replaces him, which I think they will. I think these characters are all like James Bond, you know, or Batman. They are replaceable, and it's going to be hard, though, to find someone to try to match Robert Downey Jr.'s his acting skills, because he is really talented. So that's what I have to say about that. The special effects in this movie is amazing. The action in this movie is probably something about the Marvel movies that connect to the Avengers. I always felt Thor and The Incredible Hulk were the two best action movies. With the movies with the best action. Thor is actually my favorite solo movie until Iron Man 3 came out. Now that's my favorite solo movie. The Avengers is still the best. I still think, you know, I think it's hard to beat the Avengers. The Avengers is like something special that it's like tough to beat. So yeah, Iron Man 3, though, out of all the Marvel movies that connect to this universe, Iron Man 3 is probably my second favorite right now, with Thor being in third, The Incredible Hulk being in fourth, and maybe Iron Man 2. Yeah, Iron Man 2 would round up the top 5 for me. And then Iron Man and Captain America is like the weakest of the bunch. I like that one too. I think all of them are great, but if I had to list them, that would be the order for me. This is going to be really heavy with spoilers, I think, so if you don't like spoilers, you shouldn't be watching. Yeah, don't watch this video if you haven't seen Iron Man yet. If you have, then great, you'll know what to expect. There's some great action sequences in this movie. There's the mansion scene, there's the plane scene, and there's even a great scene at the end. There's the final battle. And what I really love about this scene is that it like has all the suits come to help him and Rhodey at the end. And Rhodey is out of the costume for a long time in this movie. If you're expecting like some War Machine action, like, forget it. You're not gonna get that. Rhodey, he's in it for a good amount of time, but it is Tony Stark's story. It's his story. So I think that's it. Rhodey doesn't matter too much. He gets good screen time, and he gets some really good action scenes, especially at the end. Like, he shows he's badass even without the costume. So, yeah, I think if you're looking for a lot of War Machine action, you're better luck with Iron Man 2. But, he still gets pretty good screen time, and he still kicks ass in this movie. Don Cheadle is just like awesome. Love him. And the action scene, though, from what I was trying to say, there's like all these suits flying around, you know, beating the bad guys automatically and kicking ass. And what's cool about it, I mean, you just watch it and you're like amazed. It kind of reminded me of like in Monsters Inc., where Mike and Sully, they were in the, you know, where they saw all the room with all the doors going all over the place. It's kind of like that, and Mike and Sully are like jumping through every door. This is sort of similar, but with action, like tons of action going on at the same time. It's kind of cool seeing Tony jump from suit to suit, and it was really well done. And I think that's one of the things that made this one, I think, better than the first two, because the first two were really great too, but I think they were weak on action a little bit, and I think this one raised the bar. And I think the reason for that is because the Avengers raised the bar for all of them. Like I said, Thor and the Incredible Hulk to me had the best action, and I think the Avengers topped it. I don't think, I know the Avengers topped it. So they topped the action for all of them, and I think for phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think we're going to get a lot more really impressive action scenes for these movies now, because, you know, what the Avengers did, they have to. It's like, whoa, the Avengers rose the stakes, so now what do we have to do? We have to like try to keep it up, or even be even better, and Iron Man 3 succeeds in that. So, like, if you thought what Iron Man had to do in the Avengers was amazing, you haven't seen anything yet. The action scenes for Iron Man in this movie, like, tops it. Iron Man has some great moments in this movie, which are really impressive. Now, I'm gonna get into something, more spoilers, by the way. If you haven't seen the movie, don't listen to this part. This is gonna be bad. Well, bad, it depends, but I'm just gonna say it. There's a twist in this movie, a very big twist, that I think some fans are gonna be pissed about. And for me personally, I thought the twist was creative and funny and cool, and it worked with the movie. But if you're a hardcore comic book fan or Iron Man fan, whatever, you're gonna be pissed. And it has to do with the Mandarin. There's a big twist with the Mandarin. And it's sort of like, you know, at the end of The Dark Knight Rises, there was this whole, you know, Bane was the main villain through most of the movie. And then at the end, we find out that Talia was actually pulling the strings the entire time. It's very similar to that. But I think this one, I can understand why fans are very pissed off about this. The Mandarin is a huge villain from the books. You know, I don't read too many comic books, but I've seen the cartoons, and I have good knowledge. I do my research on Wikipedia and all that. And so I'm aware of who the Mandarin is, even before this movie came out. This is like, the Mandarin is like the Joker. He's the equivalent to what the Joker is to Batman, or what Lex Luthor is to Superman, or even Moriarty is to Sherlock Holmes. You know, he is the ultimate Iron Man villain. And what fans are pissed about is how the revelation of this villain is. He turns out to be an actor in the movie, so that can piss off a lot of fans. So he's not even like the real Mandarin. He's like this fake. And I think that's what's pissing off fans a lot. It's like, so you just wasted a perfectly good villain on, you know, an Iron Man movie that now, like, how are you gonna... But I thought about this a little bit. I thought about this. Listen, I think, I'm not 100% sure, I have to see the movie again, but I think, didn't the Mandarin say, like, he had some inspirations for the character? What if, like, one of those inspirations was the real Mandarin, and we just didn't see him yet in the movie? Like, let's say that was their, like, backtrack, just in case they knew the fans weren't gonna like it. They had to know the fans weren't gonna They had to know. They had to know the fans were going to be pissed off about this. I mean, come on. This is Marvel, right? They have complete control of their characters. They had no excuse for this. So they had to think, the fans are going to, bite our heads off. Which they are. And it's funny, too. I don't care. I enjoyed it. I thought the payoff was great. I thought everything about this movie was great. And yeah, that was just a very little annoyance for me, I guess. Because I guess I wanted to kind of see that too, and they could have easily connected it back to the 10 Rings from the first movie, that terrorist organization from the first Iron Man movie. But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't decide to do it that way. I don't know why they decided to make it the way they did. But, it still worked. Whatever. I liked it. And if you don't, that's fine. We all have opinions. Just like this is my opinion. Hey, if you don't like the big twist at the end, do your own video and let Marvel know. I mean, I think that's the power of the internet, is that we can all voice our opinions now. And yeah, so there you have it. So in conclusion, I'm gonna say this. I thought Iron Man was freaking amazing, just like I said in the beginning. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. If you have, go see it again, because I think I have to go see it again. I only seen it once so far, but I'm definitely going to go see it probably 3-4 more times. Because as a movie fanatic, especially of superhero movies, you have to check these things out more than once to make sure, it wasn't a dream, that what you actually saw was true. And yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it. I say see it, and decide for yourself what you think, Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll hate the movie entirely. Hopefully not for the Mandarin thing. I really want you guys to judge this movie as a movie, not as, don't judge it harshly because of a little thing that, I think something like that shouldn't bring down a film for you. I think what should bring down a film, if it's not loyal to the characters, or okay, forget that last part. As long as the movie's good, that should be the only thing that matters. I mean, if you look at it, it sort of did stay true to the Mandarin, because the Mandarin, it stayed true until the revelation came, okay? Until the reveal came that he was an actor. That was when you can say, okay, they kind of gave us the finger. But I think they gave the tip to the hat. Kind of like, I don't know. But I sympathize with the hardcore Iron Man fans. I get why you're angry. I just think you shouldn't be too harsh about it, because it wasn't a bad movie. It was a great movie. And you should look beyond what they did to the Mandarin and just enjoy the film, because it really is a good film, and it's funny, and the cast was great, like I said, and there's even a kid in this movie, which a lot of movies that do that add in a kid, the kid is always annoying. If The Legend of Zorro comes to mind, The Mummy Returns. I mean, those kids, come on, shut up. But this movie, they did a pretty good job with the kid. I mean, I think the kid had some really funny lines with Robert Downey Jr. So, yeah, all in all, go check out the movie. I loved it. That's about it.